Hey guys, how are we all going? So I just want to chat about printing your photos, and how it's become a bit of a hobby of mine, and why I think it's really useful for your photography and just art in general. Now, I know it can be a little bit old school when it comes to printing out things. It's like, oh, we have it all on our phones. Why do we need to print it out? I have 3 reasons why I think it's really important to print out your photos, stick them up on the wall, or stick them in a photo album and be able to look back on them whenever you want and have that ease of access to the photos. Now, if you happen to find anything insightful about the video today, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it does help out quite a bit. Now, the first topic is the ease of access to photos when you print them out and not losing them into the void. Have you ever actually tried to look for a photo that you took 3 or 4 years ago and you haven't labeled the folder properly, or you can't remember what day you actually took the photo? I know for me, the specific way I lay out my folders is I go the main topic, so photos, and then I break it down into years and then into dates within that year. So say it's June 1st, 2025, I will put it in the 2025 folder under 01.06. And then any photos that I took on that day just immediately go onto there. That's usually what I do with my professional work, because I can remember which photos I took on that day, and I can look back and quickly be like, yes, yes, no, no, no. But if I'm looking for personal photos, or if I am actually looking for a very specific photo, it is still very hard to find that specific photo. Whereas if I have ease of access in a scrapbook or a photo book that I want to be easily able to look back on, it makes it a lot easier, not only for me myself to look at them, but also to show people when they are around at my house, because it's something about the physical aspect of it that makes it so personal and so unique to the photo itself. Now, I have some photos here that I haven't put in my photo book yet, but I am planning to. So you have like me and my partner away with our friend Albie. We have just a photo of an outfit. These are all just taken on my phone. These aren't like professional grade photos. But as you can see, when you print them out, there's a little date at the bottom just here. So I can actually look back and remember what day I actually took it. And it's a fun little memory to be able to remember exactly what day that photo was taken. I have one with my grandparents, and then I just have some bird ones. I have one of my dog. Yeah. He hates us doing stuff like this. He always gets his photo taken in the weirdest spots. I don't think I have any more of him, but he is adorable. And then I obviously also take some photos when we are out on trips, and that tends to be what they are. So I like printing out those photos just because it's a little bit of fun, as well as I find it very personal to me being able to print out the photos that I can then look back on and remember. And now that I'm growing up more and more, it's weird because I find myself going back to the realm of physical media, whether that's printing out a photo or buying a DVD or making sure I have a physical copy of something and not subscribing to something. Now, I'm not getting into subscriptions as a whole, but subscriptions when it comes to especially data storage, I think is a really slippery slope, because depending on how many photos or how much storage that allows, as soon as you stop paying that subscription price, you lose the access to your photos. You lose the access to the content that is yours. Now, I know they're not like ultra expensive, and there's other ways to work around it, like SSD storage. I use SSDs all the time. I have one for all my video content, and then I have one for all my photos, and they're 1 terabyte and 2 terabyte each. But it's still that thing of, if those hard drives get corrupted, or they break or someone steals them, that is still all my photos gone. Now you can make backups and do stuff like that, but if you don't, and you don't have the money to be able to afford the backup hard drive, you're a bit out of luck. It's not that I hate having media stored on hard drives and files. It just happens to be that I've heard way too many horror stories of people's baby photos, their kids playing sport for the first time or trying ice cream for the first time, get deleted, can't be recovered because their hard drive broke or someone stole it and they didn't put in the time to print out the photo. So let's move on to the fact of then printing out photos. Usually it costs a little bit to print out photos. It's physical, you have to pay for it. But how much are you actually paying per photo? Now in Australia, Kmart, Target, Big W, Officeworks, you can go get a little 6x4 for I think 15 cents or so. Anywhere between 15 cents and 50 cents per photo. So if you've looked at Kmart and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's too expensive or not, but you're still potentially wanting to print your own photos, and you're only wanting these, like if you're wanting bigger prints, then there's other places you can go. But if you're wanting just 6x4s, pop them in an album, look back at them whenever, you can also get the Canon Selphy. That's what all these photos were printed on, and a little breakdown for the Australian prices. So the Canon Selphy itself costs $180. The paper, like the box that you get that has the inks in it, was $40. So cost per paper was 40 cents. Now you can't print anything over this size, but if that's all you need, and it saves you the time of having to go to Kmart, you can do it right at home. You can set it up, print out 10 to 20 photos, just leave it, come back, it's all printed, and then you have a bunch of photos. You can do it once a month, makes it easy. So the last point that I want to make about it is that it stops you from looking at your screens all the time. Now, I love my phone, I go on it and I use it all the time like most people do. But if I'm trying to look at a photo or trying to edit something and I'm getting 4 emails, text messages, calls, I can't really be engrossed with looking at the composition, the coloring, or the creativity side of photography. So it allows me to take what would be potentially an over-edited, undercomposed, or average image, and it allows me to tweak things very slightly. I can physically see that he wasn't on the rule of third line, or I can see that I slightly overexposed it. Now, printing is also kind of an art in of itself, because you're wanting to make sure that whatever you're seeing on your computer also matches what gets printed out. And that's a whole different topic. There are people way more qualified to talk about that stuff. The way I see it is printing out your work is 100% worth it, even if you're just getting a Canon Selphy and you're printing out photos that you take on your phone. That's still photography. It's still printing. It's still keeping that physical media. You're still gonna remember a lot better these photos than the ones that sort of blend into the phone albums and the digital voids that we all have. If you guys found something that was enjoyable with this video, please again hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and let me know down in the comments, do you love printing out your work? Anyway guys, hope to catch you in the next one. See ya.